Greetings fellow traders, this is Max and welcome to my Sunday market analysis where I'm going to analyze the market and share with you my top trades for the upcoming week. And as you can see, I have 6 pairs here on my watch list that I would like to analyze now with you and share with you the trades that I am looking for on those pairs. And I'm going to start here with the pair Euro-GBP. So I remember that in one of the recent Sunday market analysis, I was looking for a long position around this area here after this push and then the small retest here. And as you can see now, we had the explosive push to the upside when we look on the weekly chart here. So my plan will be now to wait for price after this push to have a small correction back into the area here and this round psychological level, the 0.845 round psychological level. And specifically on the daily chart, you can see here some sort of inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is a reversal pattern in this context here. If we look at the short-term downtrend on the daily chart here down into this area, we can then see a left shoulder, a head and a right shoulder, or the other way around, depending on how you're going to look at it. So we broke the neckline here and now I'm going to wait for the daily candlesticks to come back into this area. This could take this will take a couple days, might not even happen this week, giving me the entry, but this is going to be my plan, to wait for price to come back into the area to hop in on a long position here on Euro-GBP and profit off of the momentum to the upside. But patience is key, so I'm going to wait for my clear entry signal. The next pair on my list is Euro-JPY. So on the weekly chart, we can see here that we have this weekly resistance area that we broke now. Now I'm going to be waiting for a retest of this weekly area of interest, and I even have it marked here as a daily area of interest, which is also true because we can see here that several days rejected this area. Now we want to see it becoming support. We even had some kind of retest here already. However, this is not really a retest I could profit off and jump on a long trade, and with such a strong break, I would rather wait for price to come back into the area in a couple days, give me some neutral day, maybe even a liquidity sweep somewhere below this area here. And we can even see that this is a round psychological level, 165 round psychological level. So I will want to wait for price to come back into the area, give me the shift of structure, my entry signal to then open a long position on Euro-JPY. So patience is key. It's going to take a couple days, but this is going to be my trading plan for Euro-JPY. Fairly simple, break and retest trade again. Next pair on my list is GBP CHF. So what you can see here, it probably looks familiar by now. We can see a head and shoulders pattern here, which is a reversal pattern. If you look at this short-term uptrend here, we see that price is struggling to make new highs. So this is indicating a potential reversal. Now we broke here the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern, and it's kind of hard to figure out a certain or a clear area of interest, as it's very often with the CHF pairs here with the price data of my broker that I use. So what I just want to see now is price actually have some kind of lower high, retesting this area here, and then show me the weakness, maybe even rejecting the EMA, and then head to the downside to open a short position. However, this is going to take some time, so we have to be patient here. On the 4 hour, this looks kind of like a really gigantic morning star, which is actually also a reversal pattern in this case. Would make sense for a retest of the neckline, or at least this area here. However, I would rather see it on the daily chart. This looks really really bullish in this context, as if the price was rejecting this level here. So it's time to be patient again and wait for the proper price action and the price formation to then open a short position. For price data that is a bit more clear, I like to look at a different provider here of this chart data, for example, Owanda, and you can see here that this area seems to be the level or the price level that is the most significant, the 1.105 round psychological level even. So I want to wait for price to come back into the area, show me the weakness, the rejection on a lower time frame to then open a short position. So even here, this is kind of matching. So I could potentially move the zone a little up here. So you see we clearly broke it. However, it looks like we have rejected it, but that's why I just have to look at the lower time frame now. Price might even come back into this area here, which is considered the stop zone, where the people that open a short position on the breakout here have placed their stop orders. Price likes to go back into this area and then show the proper weakness, and then I would be interested in opening a short position here. But patience is key. I don't want to be too early in this, but this looks very promising so far. The next pair, again, GBP NZD, still a trade I'm in. I've held this trade for so long. This is probably the longest trade I have ever held, I have to be honest. And this is developing really interestingly here. So recently we had this huge correction back into the area here, almost stopping me out break even. It was really close. Then we had this engulfing daily candlestick here. We had the neutral one, and now we even crossed the EMA and have this additional very strong and bullish daily candlestick here, indicating that the price has a lot of buying pressure and buying power, buying momentum here again to probably head to the upside and back into the area for a potential new chance to take the profits here, or we might even see a breakout here. It's time to be patient again and to sit on your hands to see what price is going to do. But right now it's looking really good. We see the weekly close here was very bullish. We almost, completely engulfed this recent weekly candlestick here again with this, I would call it liquidity grab. And now I see price potentially moving higher. Even on the monthly chart, that was pretty much the movement that I expected to see on a new monthly candlestick here, as this wasn't really any bearish signs so far, more like a neutral monthly. Now we have the wick down. Now I see it creating the wick to the upside again, potentially even going higher and maybe closing the monthly somewhere around this area here. That could totally be possible, and this is kind of what I am anticipating here, but we will see. Of course, GBP NZD, I will keep you updated in my free Telegram channel, which you can join at any time. I will put the link to it into the video description. Next pair on my list, NZD CAD. So if I look on the weekly chart, this looks kind of as it was just ranging, right? We had this gigantic bullish weekly candlestick here. Now we have this red one bearish candlestick here. And now we broke this area of interest and even around psychological level here. So what I am waiting for now, or looking for, is after such a huge push, we have to see some kind of small correction. And I want to wait for the correction to come back into this area, sweep some of the liquidity. So price might even go into this area. I want to see the weakness and then open a short position here on NZD CAD, as we kind of broke this area here. But as you can see, price has gone into this area down here a couple times and then it just turned around. So this might happen again, but I see that price could maybe in a couple daily candlesticks come back into the area, even get rejected by the 50 EMA here. Could potentially happen up into the zone, then show me the weakness and then open a short position for probably the first profit target being this price level here, or even further down for some more profits and even a longer trade that I'm going to hold. But yeah, as of right now, I just want to wait for price to have the rejection, show the weakness, and then give me my entry signal to open a short position on NZD CAD. And a final pair on my watch list for this week is USD CHF. So in one of the Sunday market analysis, I showed you this head and shoulders pattern here. And I was anticipating the break of the neckline, the retest, and then the push to the upside a little earlier. Well, price has taken its time. And what we see here now is a really strong push of this neckline, or a really strong break of this neckline, bearish push. So my plan is to wait for price to come back into the area, maybe sweep some of the liquidity. I want to see the weakness of this price here, retesting by retesting the neckline and price showing the weakness, maybe even on the 4 hour here. Price could come back into this area, maybe even up here, then close below again, very strong and bearish. And this is going to be my entry signal to sell USD CHF for a short position, to hold it until it, let's see, what could be a potential price target. It's been a while since it's been so low, but probably one of the most significant levels, price levels, might actually be this level here, the 0.78 round psychological, or 0.77 round psychological level. So somewhere around this area, or even as low as 0.71 or something like that. But that's gonna depend on the price action. We even had here one of those really strong sweeps in January 2015. Is that going to happen again? Maybe, we don't know. It could also just be another retest of this area, and then it's going to fail to have the retest and then head to the upside. That's all that could happen, but this is going to be my plan. wait for price to come back into the area and then sell USD CHF. I have analyzed the other pairs as well, but I did not find any suitable setups for this week. So I am just going to skip those for now. I have set price alarms, and if one of those alarms is getting triggered and I see a potential trade setup, I'm going to share it in my free Telegram channel. I will put the link to it into the video description. You will also find a link to my other socials there. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below and I will try to answer your questions. Thank you for watching. I wish you a successful trading week. Remember to manage your risk properly and see you next Sunday.